Greetings, peeps. So, as I mentioned I would try and do, I did finally get my buddy down over here to be able to try out the SM7b and we'll get some stuff recorded and get his thoughts from an independent artist take on it that really hasn't had the opportunity to work with many types of microphones. And whenever he has had a good one, it was in a not so great setting, which I believe we talk about. Nonetheless, I got the conversation recorded of us where I ask him a few questions, he provides some answers. We kind of go back and forth giving the background and what to expect from this video. But nonetheless, here's that conversation. I'm here with a guest, my closest friend, Tim.
How's it going?
As I mentioned in a previous video, whenever I was going over the SM7b, I may have mentioned that I am going to try and get it on an actual performance, or an actual vocal performance. And this is the unfortunate victim that will be...
I'm always the guinea pig.
You are.
I'm fine with it.
So, the original recording was done probably like 5-6 years ago. And
probably even longer than that.
Probably.
Yeah.
And you weren't in the most ideal of situations when recording. We pretty much had you in a closet. You were bent over, like hunched over with a pop filter and a 58.
Used a blanket to cover the door.
Used a blanket to cover the door. So, like, just whatever we could get by with. So now we're using an SM7b. Do you recall, like, the vocal performance you had with the 58 and how you felt about it?
So, I remember having a buttload of problems getting the sound that I wanted. So, you know, multiple re-records, multiple, just multiple takes.
Okay,
more than anything else. But the initial feeling was, I mean, it really did sound nice. It sounded way better than what we had recorded, what I'd prior recorded on my phone and everything. Correct. Which, I mean, you use a mic, it's going to sound a million times better than using a telephone or something, phone. You know.
Yeah.
So it definitely sounded so much better than it originally had sounded. So the initial response was, wow, this is great, this is amazing, everything like that. But after multiple trial and errors of the editing process, multiple trial and errors of recording guitar parts with the vocals that we had just recorded with the microphone and everything, you listen to it nowadays, and it's like, I mean, it's been 6, almost 7 years ago. It's like, it sounds extremely robotic.
Yes.
Extremely like I'm forcing the lyrics into the piece rather than the lyrics kind of just naturally flowing out and sounding the way they need to for the piece.
Correct. Now, this is a process we've been going on for like the past 4 or 5 years on this one piece, and it's primarily because, especially before then, at the time, he was like just below us state-wise, and so it would have had to take a couple hours just to go one way to do any kind of vocal work, and just with our work schedules at the time, that just wasn't feasible to do. But maybe at best twice a year. We were kind of lucky if we could do it one time a year, just we had too much going on. So now he's a little bit closer and we got some schedules sorted out. We're finally able to try and fix and make it a little bit better than what it was. Now, the one question I do want to ask you, because you did say that you felt like something was lacking, is there anything in specific that you're able to detail or provide to what you felt was missing, maybe in the spectrum of the details of how your voice sounded? Is there anything that was lacking for you?
Just the feeling and emotion behind the actual ambience of the piece, because it's supposed to be a piece where you're so in touch with who you are and how you are that you're just embracing that warmth, according to lyrics, embracing the warmth of, the life that's being provided for you and everything. So my guess is it's probably just like the emotion, the raw emotion behind the piece that's
Okay.
lacking for me. I mean, it's there. It's just
It's being held back in a
it's
sense.
being held back.
What we are going to do today is we are going to try and attempt to resolve this, because this is a mic that I had, of course, as you saw in my unveiling video, SM7b. I've been wanting this mic for a very long time, and was finally fortunate enough to be in a situation where I could get it. We're going to get to him recording some vocals. We'll get some footage of him recording the vocals, his reaction as he's listening to himself, and in comparison to what he was doing like 5 or 6 years ago. And you guys will get to see what kind of difference this mic does for someone who's more independent, not someone who this is not someone who's been in a studio, is used to this type of mic and everything. This is someone who has only had an SM58 as what they would consider a professional mic, which it still kind of is, but having a studio grade mic, you're going to get firsthand experience of what it's like for someone that may be considering this mic, and if they would want to actually fork out what this thing costs to progress themselves as an artist and get themselves out there.
I mean, from what little I've already heard from this mic, I mean, it is extremely clear.
Because I forgot to stop and record this intro, so you heard a little bit already, but that was like 10 seconds of it. So now let's get the real thing.
Oh yeah.
All right. So the first thing we did was I got him to record some vocals. After he recorded some vocals, I completely forgot to record the damn thing. So after going back, re-recording this, and getting him to re-record his vocals, this is what they sounded like.
Every night my mind is racing, thoughts of you I can't control. You're the only thing that makes me feel like I am not alone. Every day as I am walking, see your face on everyone. It reminds me that I have a reason for me to hold on. Every night my mind is racing, thoughts of you I can't control. You're the only thing that makes me feel like I am not alone. Every day as I am walking, see your face on everyone. It reminds me that I have a reason for me to hold on.
Alrighty, so from here, he needs to listen to what he's done and to kind of get a feeling for how well the track is done. There's a question of, does he want to do it in a different direction? Does he want to change anything, do anything differently? From the prospects of an engineer and producer, I guess you could say, is there anything that could be done differently or advanced? So this is what we went over, but also this was his reaction to finally hearing the SM7b for himself, as he's been so desperately wanting to do, just as I have. Now that you've seen how taken aback he was from hearing an SM7b coming from his SM58, not that the 58's a bad mic by any means, but let's be serious here. The SM7b just has this amazingness to it that can't necessarily be touched. Well, maybe without spending more or having various competitors, but that's for something else. regardless, this was his thoughts on the matter from someone that has had experience with SM58, but now is stepping into studio quality. Here's what his thoughts were.
Okay, thoughts with that intro?
My only problems with it are my own technical problems.
Mm-hmm.
Not any sort of technical problem with the audio from the mic pickup or anything like that. It's literally just
You.
me that I have a problem. Maybe I'm not the one supposed to, like, but no, it's it is so crisp, so clear. And as I'm listening to myself sing while I'm singing, it's I can tell where I need to, adjust my vocal pitch or adjust my the tonage, my armature, anything like that, in order to get the sound that I'm needing, so I don't do some weird like flourish on a word that I'm singing or anything like that. I mean, it is extremely crisp, extremely clear, extremely on point, and like I said, this is actually, to be honest with you, it honestly feels like it's helping me sing and get the pitches that I need, singing them on pitch, not having too many flourishes in my words. It's helping me sing, to be honest with you.
And this is all in comparison to what you experienced on the 58.
And that's with me singing with headphones prior to doing this. I mean, when I sang on the 58, or sang on the 58 the last time around when we recorded this, I'm able to hear myself sing, but it's like there were some slight problems. I wasn't able to adjust my voice, and I had to go back and re-record and do this and do this, and the long drawn-out process of recording,
Yeah.
But with this, I'm able to clearly hear what I need to hear in order to, as I'm singing, adjust my voice, adjust my mouth, adjust my throat, everything like that, in order to get the clear sound that I'm looking for while I'm singing. It really is helping me sing more than anything else.
As you can tell, he greatly enjoyed the mic. I didn't ask him if it's something that he would personally get, just because you can tell from his reaction alone. That's something that he would potentially save up to get. But, yeah. Coming from someone that hasn't had a lot of experience in various microphones, granted the only, my endeavors within various forms of microphones have been having the opportunity to be around them whenever my father was a little bit more active in drumming and being in the studio, and whenever I was in the local community college to be able to progress and advance what I had known and to go further. But I've worked with various types of mics, and you've heard my thoughts on this. Now you get to hear it from a local artist. Reasonably local anyway. But yeah, so I hope you did enjoy it, and of course, whenever we get together, Tim and I, we have some interesting moments, so here's some of those outtakes.
Join me now so I can feel your warmth all over me. It gives me hope that we...
It helps whenever you have a musician that doesn't suck.
So I can feel your warmth.
So Tim, was there any difficulties that you found with the mic, or was it from you primarily?
Most of my problems, Gabriel, are the whole technical problems with my own file, basically, I'm sitting there, and as I'm singing, I get to the sounds with the ends and the O's, the open sound, the one that comes from the throat and it kind of travels a little bit up through your nasal. As I'm getting through it, it's just all I'm wanting to do as I'm singing is can't hold on, and I can't fucking do it because, gag reel.
So, in the midst of recording, the artist has decided that no, my lyrics aren't good enough. I don't like the way this sounds. I couldn't have done this previously. Let's do it during recording. Welcome to engineering and recording. This is the way it's going to happen. So now, I'm going to be surprised at the new word he's picked out of the whole fucking verse. No. Not just one line, but the whole goddamn line. Like, 4 different lines, and he's changed one word. So I'm about to be surprised in what this motherfucker just decided to put.
For full discretion, just know, I still love the guy. Oh, it's just playfulness at this point,